The internet has done many, many great things. It's done fantastic things. It's created new revenue streams that were never possible prior to the creation of the internet. And one of the things that the internet has created within the last couple years, ever since the COVID pandemic, was OnlyFans. And we all know that prostitution is the oldest and most prevalent career path for most women throughout human history. But bringing it to the 21st century could lead to more problems than we might have initially thought it to bring us. In particular, anxiety, depression, and isolation has made these women into complete shells of their self. The average OnlyFans woman is getting about $180 a month, but is it worth it? If you're more depressed, you feel anxious, you feel isolated, is it worth the $180? I can't even guilt these women into feeling bad for themselves, because if you think about it, they're just doing something that works. They're doing something to make money, and kudos to them. I could just as easily go after the people that are buying this crap, because it's not women. It is definitely not women that are participating in this debacle. It's men. However, the women are the ones that are funding it through their online content. And if it wasn't creating such a ripple in our society, I wouldn't care. I'm open to any form of capitalism that you can wrap your mind around. If it's effective, then it's effective. However, with these women experiencing this depression and all sorts of other mental issues, I'm thinking to myself, maybe, just maybe, this is a massive, massive mistake. They say that anything that comes easy to you isn't worth obtaining. It's not worth having. It's cheating the system, and there is no free lunch when it comes to the system, whether it be economics or biology. If you smoke cigarettes for 40 years, then inevitably you're probably going to get cancer, right? If you participate in OnlyFans, you will probably, inevitably, eventually gain some sort of mental illness. It could be a very minuscule one, but you absolutely will. Furthermore, these kids is really what they are, unfortunately. Now, they're of adult age, but they're just kids. Their brains haven't even formed yet. Their prefrontal cortex hasn't even formed entirely. And yet they're doing something that could potentially detriment their entire future. And even if it didn't, even if we could take that stigma away, think about this. They're not learning any skill or trade. And beauty is something that no matter how much you have at a current time and place, it will eventually dissipate over time, and you'll be left with nothing. The most gorgeous women in Hollywood eventually get old, they wither away, and they're replaced. You're replaced by the next shiny toy, if you will, because that's all these women give to the internet is themselves. They're not trying to be funny, they're not trying to be entertaining, they're just giving the internet explicit, provocative content. And kudos to them. If you can market yourself in a very, very strategic, intuitive way that makes you a lot of money, then I don't see anything wrong with it. A lot of people do. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it's as long as people are willing to buy it, then I have no issue with it. But for the sake of the women that are participating in this, they should think twice before they do this, because they cannot foresee the potential ramifications of exploiting themselves online. That's there forever. And a lot of people will say, why do you care? Well, I think that they would really, really think twice if they thought down the line. See, and that's the problem with America is we are hurting economically so badly that people aren't thinking rationally. I remember when I was poor and I would run my card and whatever it may be, and it's like, oh, if it goes negative, I don't care, because I was in a scarcity mindset. And that's what the majority of these women are in. They're just trying to pay their bills. That's why, unfortunately for them, it became prominent throughout COVID because suddenly the jobs that these women in particular would usually fill, being the service industry and maybe hospitality industry, they were gone overnight and they had to do something. But that never went away. And now every single girl, the second she turns 18, doesn't have an aspiration to become a doctor or a dentist or a psychologist or a nurse. They just want to make money on OnlyFans. And that's very, very detrimental to the human psyche. You start to see people as objects, and it goes both ways. It goes that it becomes that from the viewers, and it becomes reciprocated also from the women that are viewing the guys as nothing but a paycheck. It's a very sloppy transaction, and it's not something that you can build longevity on. And it's different than other things that are short lived. Like when you go to the NFL, the average NFL career is only 3 years. And so people would say, what are you going to do after that? That's like, fuck you. I'm going to the NFL. Let me make $4 or $5 million. I'll play there for a couple years and I'll figure things out after. No harm, no foul. It's just money, right? It doesn't detriment my future prosperity. With OnlyFans, it's different, and you can call me a hater all you'd like. I don't see anything wrong with them doing this per se. It's up to them, and they can decide whether or not they want to participate in it. But if they choose to, these women need to realize that this is something that will stick with them forever. It's not something that they can easily get rid of. It will be online forever. I remember a time when if a man and a woman, let's say maybe in high school or college or whenever it happened, would share nudes back and forth, and when leaked, it would totally destroy that woman's life. She would be labeled as a slut, and she would feel uncomfortable even stepping outside of her house for a very long time. It was shameful. Now, people are willing to do that, and they're doing it for money. The shame and stigma on this is something that I personally don't know if it should maintain its current levels. I don't know if, and here's what I mean by that. I don't know if there should be a stigma around it per se, but there is a stigma. It's similar to tattooing your face. I don't care if you tattoo your face. Doesn't mean that you're not as brilliant as you were prior to getting the tattoo. Doesn't mean that you're not as successful. It doesn't mean that you're not as beautiful, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But what it does mean is that you're going to have a bunch of people judging you. It's going to make it very difficult for you to find career opportunities in the future. People will judge you, and it will have a negative impact on your life in general. That is what these women are doing. And I think they realize it. I just don't think they care. And they see all of these icons that they poster up as their end all be all goal that have struck it rich on OnlyFans. They have a bunch of simps that will pay them whatever, 5, 10, 20, $50 a month. And they see these girls out there that just graduate from high school and then are driving in Lamborghinis and shopping at Hermes on Rodeo Drive. That's not the majority of people. Similarly, not every YouTuber is going to be Mr. Beast. The difference is that one is just an aspirational goal that doesn't impact your future, and the other is hedging your bet and basically throwing away all plan B. You basically burn your safety net when you post this type of shit online. And I think there needs to be a better source of education coming from someone that has been there and done that, because there are clear levels of raised and heightened depression, anxiety, and even PTSD from participating in OnlyFans, and no one's talking about it. They just see the glitz and the glamour, much like celebrity and being a celebrity and being in Hollywood. You don't see the background to what makes these people's lives be perceived as amazing. You see the end result. You don't see the work. You don't see the dedication. You don't see the mental fortitude. You don't see the mental stress and anguish that they experience because it's tailored to present to you a specific lifestyle in order to sell products. And the women that are doing OnlyFans are doing the same exact thing, except for the product they're selling is themselves. And no matter what price they charge for this content, they're underselling themselves. They're selling themselves short because it's something that I believe should probably be held very sacred between themselves and someone that they love. I don't think they should be giving this out to the world. I just think that they're going to pay a massive price for it. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you maybe you'll do it and you'll be fine, but I would urge you not to. I would really urge you not to because I've seen how this can play out. And in fact, throughout COVID, I helped many different people launch their careers. And I mean, I really had a chat with them saying, are you sure you want to do this? But if they did and they had bills to pay, then of course I would help them. And not with anything gross here. I mean, just mainly just marketing strategically and getting themselves out there and telling them when to post this and that. I helped manage um, a digital marketing firm basically throughout the pandemic because I was helping all of these lawyers, doctors, dentists, and even mom and pop shops uh, get on the internet. That way they could survive throughout the pandemic. And along with that came these women that wanted to make a little bit extra money. It was something that was kind of new. It was still niche. It wasn't oversaturated yet. And I said, sure, I'll help you. I don't care. I'll Photoshop whatever you want me to do. I mean, as long as you pay me, I don't care. Um, and do I regret doing it? No, but I just, it's their lives. I told them right from the beginning, be careful. And it really hasn't worked out too well for any one of them. And I know that that's just a very small sample size of people. I know there's people that have been tremendously successful from this, but where does it lead? Where does it lead to? I mean, from what I can see, they're just basically reiterating to the world that they're nothing but sex objects to be looked at and looked over when it comes to anything besides physical attributes. And I don't think many people would like that. So that's my 2 cents. And for more things like this, although I don't really talk about this that often, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel because I'm posting every single day and I'm posting about real things. I'm trying to hit everything under the sun that I care about and that I find fascinating. So if you want to be on this journey with me, then hit the subscribe button and make sure that you turn on notifications.